Hey Aries, how are you feeling lately? I just sat down with my deck specifically for you. And what came through for October is honestly making me pause, because this energy is so different from what we have been seeing. I need to share this with you right away, because the cards are showing me something that feels like the universe has been quietly setting up this massive breakthrough for you, and October is when everything clicks into place. So I'm shuffling here and asking Spirit to show me what Aries needs to know about their biggest victory coming in October, and the energy that is coming through is this powerful sense of culmination. Like everything you have been working toward, all those battles you fought, all those moments where you questioned if you were on the right path, it has all been building to this moment. And I am getting chills, because this is not just a small win, Aries. This is the kind of victory that changes the trajectory of your entire journey. The first card I pulled is the Three of Wands. And oh my goodness, Aries, this is so perfect for where you are right now. When I look at this card, I see someone standing on a cliff looking out at the horizon, and there are 3 wands planted firmly in the ground behind them. This person has already done the work. They have already taken action, and now they are literally watching their ships come in. And that is exactly what October represents for you. What strikes me about the Three of Wands is that this is not about starting something new or taking that first brave step. You already did that. This card is about expansion and watching your efforts finally pay off. You know how sometimes you put energy into something and you are not really sure if it is going to work out? You are planting seeds, but you cannot see what is happening beneath the soil. The Three of Wands is that moment when you finally see the shoots breaking through the surface and you realize, oh wow, this is actually happening. For you in October, this card is telling me that opportunities are going to start appearing that are directly connected to actions you took weeks or even months ago. Maybe you applied for something and forgot about it. Maybe you had a conversation with someone that seemed casual at the time, but planted an important seed. Maybe you started working on a project or skill, and it felt like you were just going through the motions. The Three of Wands says all of that is about to come full circle. What I love about this energy is that it carries this sense of confidence and foresight. The figure in the Three of Wands is not anxiously waiting or doubting themselves. They know their ships are coming in. They can already see them on the horizon. And that is the energy you need to step into this October, Aries. Stop questioning whether you deserve this victory. Stop wondering if it is really going to happen. The universe is already in motion, bringing these rewards to you. I am also seeing with the Three of Wands that this victory involves some form of recognition or visibility. This card often shows up when your work is about to be seen by a wider audience or when you are stepping into a position of greater influence. So if you have been working behind the scenes or feeling like your efforts are going unnoticed, October is when that changes dramatically. People are going to start seeing you differently. They are going to recognize your capabilities and your vision in a way they have not before. The other thing I am picking up with this card is that you might need to be ready to think bigger than you have been thinking. The Three of Wands challenges you to expand your vision and not settle for small wins when something much larger is available to you. So if an opportunity comes your way in October and your first instinct is to play it safe or think it is too big for you, I want you to remember this card. You are ready for this level of success. The second card here is the Ten of Wands. And okay, this makes so much sense with what we just saw. If the Three of Wands is about watching your rewards come in, the Ten of Wands is explaining why this victory is so significant and so deserved. Aries, you have been carrying so much. This card shows someone bent over under the weight of 10 wands, struggling to carry this huge burden, and I am seeing that this has been your reality for quite some time now. Here is what the Ten of Wands is revealing about your journey to this October victory. You have been taking on more than your fair share of responsibility. Maybe you have been the one holding everything together in a situation where others were not pulling their weight. Maybe you took on multiple projects or obligations because you felt like you had to prove yourself. Maybe you have been dealing with challenges that would have made other people quit, but you just kept pushing forward because that is what Aries does. You do not give up. But here is the thing that is really important to understand. The Ten of Wands is not just showing me the burden you have been carrying. It is showing me that you are at the end of this cycle. This card appears right before the completion and victory of the Suit of Wands. You are literally steps away from being able to set down this heavy load and claim your reward. October is when you finally get to release what you have been carrying and step into a much lighter, more empowered version of your life. What I find really powerful about seeing the Ten of Wands in a victory reading is that it tells me your win is not just going to feel good, it is going to feel like relief. It is going to feel like you can finally breathe again, like you have been holding your breath waiting for things to get easier, and October is when you can finally exhale. The pressure you have been under is about to lift in a significant way. I am also getting that part of this victory involves other people finally stepping up, or circumstances shifting so that you are not carrying everything alone anymore. The Ten of Wands often indicates that we have taken on too much, not because we are capable of it, but because we felt we had no choice. But October brings a shift where either support arrives, or you finally give yourself permission to delegate or release what is not yours to carry. And that in itself is a huge victory. There is also a message here about recognizing your own strength. You know those moments in life where you do not realize how strong you have been until you look back and see what you survived. The Ten of Wands is one of those cards. It is saying that when you reach this victory in October, you are going to have a moment of reflection where you really see how much you overcame to get here. And that realization is going to change how you see yourself going forward. The third card I am pulling is the Hermit and Wow Aries. This is adding such an interesting layer to this reading. At first glance, the Hermit might seem like an odd card to show up in a victory reading because it is such a solitary, introspective energy. But when I look at it in the context of everything else we have seen, it makes perfect sense and actually reveals something really profound about what your October victory truly is. The Hermit is about wisdom gained through inner work and solitude. This is the card of the wise teacher, the person who has withdrawn from the noise of the world to find their own truth and their own light. And what this is telling me is that a major component of your victory in October is actually an internal shift. Yes, there are going to be external rewards and recognition. We saw that with the Three of Wands. But the deepest victory is the one happening inside you. Here is what I am picking up. You have been on this journey of really figuring out who you are, separate from what other people expect of you, or what you thought you were supposed to be. Maybe you have been doing a lot of soul-searching lately. Maybe you have been questioning things that used to seem certain. Maybe you have been spending more time alone, or feeling somewhat disconnected from your usual social circles. The Hermit is saying that all of that was necessary preparation for where you are headed. The victory that is coming in October is not just about achieving external success. It is about stepping into a version of yourself that is so authentic and so aligned with your true path that you do not need validation from anyone else anymore. You are finding your own inner light, your own sense of direction, and that is the greatest victory of all, because once you have that, nobody can take it away from you. What I find really beautiful about the Hermit appearing in your reading is that it suggests this victory is coming from a place of depth and integrity. You are not chasing success for the sake of appearances or to prove something to others. You are pursuing what is genuinely meaningful to you, what aligns with your deepest values and your authentic self. And that kind of success is so much more fulfilling than anything that comes from external pressure or comparison. The Hermit also speaks to the idea that sometimes we have to go through a period of solitude or separation to really see clearly. Maybe you have felt a bit isolated or like you were walking your path alone, while everyone else was busy with their own lives. The Hermit is saying that was actually a gift, because it gave you the space to really listen to your own inner guidance without being influenced by everyone else's opinions and agendas. And now, in October, you are emerging from that introspective period with crystal clear clarity about where you are headed. The fourth card coming through is the Knight of Swords, and okay, now we are really seeing the full picture of how this victory manifests. After the introspection of the Hermit, the Knight of Swords is about taking swift, decisive action based on the clarity you have gained. This is the card of cutting through confusion and obstacles with laser focus and determination. What I love about the Knight of Swords appearing here is that it represents this surge of mental clarity and forward momentum. You know how sometimes you can see what needs to happen, but you feel stuck or uncertain about how to proceed? The Knight of Swords is that moment when the fog lifts and you suddenly know exactly what to do. And more importantly, you have the courage and conviction to do it without second-guessing yourself. For your October victory, this card is telling me that there is going to be a moment where you are going to need to make a bold move or a quick decision. And here is the thing, Aries, you are going to know it is the right move. You are not going to be hemming and hawing about it. The Knight of Swords brings this energy of absolute certainty that cuts through all doubt and fear. When the moment comes, you are going to feel it in your bones that this is what you need to do. The Knight of Swords is also about communication and speaking your truth. So part of this victory might involve you having a conversation that you have been avoiding or finally saying something that needs to be said. Maybe it is standing up for yourself in a situation where you have been too accommodating. Maybe it is presenting an idea or proposal that you were nervous about sharing. Whatever it is, the Knight of Swords gives you the courage and clarity to communicate in a way that is direct, honest, and effective. What I am also picking up is that the Knight of Swords can represent things happening quickly, like plans that come together faster than expected, opportunities that appear suddenly and require quick action, situations that resolve themselves rapidly once you take the right approach. So do not be surprised if things start moving really fast in October. You might feel like you go from 0 to 60 in what feels like no time at all. The fifth card here is Five of Swords, and this is a really interesting addition to this reading. The Five of Swords traditionally shows a figure who has won a conflict or competition, but the victory came at a cost. Now, before you get worried, hear me out. Because in the context of everything else we have seen, this card is actually clarifying the type of victory you are claiming. What the Five of Swords is telling me is that your October victory involves overcoming opposition or winning in a situation where there was conflict or competition. This is not just things falling into place easily. This is you, fighting for your victory and earning it through your willingness to stand your ground even when others challenged you or tried to block your path. And you are going to win. That is what this card is ultimately showing. But here is the deeper message. The Five of Swords is asking you to think carefully about how you win and what you are willing to sacrifice or compromise for that victory. In your case, I am sensing that the Five of Swords is actually about choosing your battles wisely. Not every fight is worth fighting. Part of your victory in October is developing the discernment to know when to engage and when to walk away. Sometimes the biggest win is refusing to participate in conflicts that do not serve your highest good. The final card I am pulling is the Tower, and holy wow, Aries, this is powerful. Now, I know the Tower has a reputation for being a scary card, but in this context, it is actually incredibly positive, and it explains why this October victory is so significant. The Tower represents transformation through upheaval. It is about structures and beliefs that need to come crashing down so that something better can be built in their place. What the Tower is revealing is that this victory in October is not just a nice thing that happens to you. It is a life-changing event that fundamentally alters your trajectory. The Tower shows up when the universe is rearranging your life in a major way, clearing out what is not working so that you can step into your true path. Here's what I am seeing with the Tower in your victory reading. The success you achieve in October is going to challenge or completely destroy some belief you have been holding about yourself or your life. Maybe you believed you were not capable of this level of achievement. Maybe you thought you had to stay small or play it safe. The Tower is coming in to blow up those false beliefs and show you that you are capable of so much more than you realized. So here is what this reading is telling me overall. Aries, your October victory is massive. It is not just one good thing happening. It is a complete transformation of your circumstances and your self-perception. You have been caring so much and working so hard, and October is when all of that effort culminates in a breakthrough that changes everything. This is your time, Aries. Everything has been building to this. Trust the process, trust yourself, and get ready to claim the victory that has always been meant for you.